The story opens on a rainy night in the city of Erlington, where two highly skilled officers, Detective Michael Carter and Inspector James Hughes, are investigating a mysterious murder. Michael, known for his sharp mind and unyielding curiosity, pairs perfectly with James's fierce determination and intuitive instincts. Together, they've solved some of the city's toughest cases. But tonight, they are about to encounter something far more sinister. The rain drizzled against the glass windows of Michael's apartment. His phone buzzed, breaking the comforting silence of the late hour. It was James. "Michael, we've got something." His voice was curt, a mix of urgency and controlled calm. He knew that tone. Something serious had happened. Michael grabbed his coat and headed out into the cold, wet night. At 2 a.m., the streets were deserted, and the only noise was the rain hitting the pavement. Yellow police tape marked off an alley where a body had been found. As Michael arrived, James was already there, standing next to the forensic team. The victim is Richard Bell, a local attorney. Cause of death: single stab wound to the chest. But James hesitated. Something's off. Michael raised an eyebrow, peering down at the body. Richard's face looked peaceful. Too peaceful for a man who had been stabbed. His hand was clutching something, a small piece of paper. The note read, "Find me before it's too late." Michael's eyes narrowed. He looked up at James. This isn't just a murder, it's a message. As the night wore on, Michael and James worked tirelessly, piecing together the victim's last hours. Richard had no known enemies, no troubled past. He had spent his evening at his office, left at 11 p.m., and never made it home. What bothered Michael was the precision of the stab wound, straight to the heart, as if done by someone who knew exactly where to strike. The investigation led them to Richard's law firm, a prestigious establishment located in the city's upscale business district. As they sifted through Richard's files, they stumbled upon a case he had been working on, a high-profile land dispute involving a powerful real estate mogul, Edward Kane. Could Kane be behind this? James asked, flipping through the pages. Michael was thoughtful. Maybe, but it's too obvious. If Kane wanted him dead, why leave a note? The silence in the room was heavy. Then James's phone buzzed again. A second body had been found. Same method, same note. This time the victim was a journalist, Nina Reyes, who had been working on a story connected to Kane's businesses. The connections between the victims were too close to be coincidence, yet Michael felt the killer was playing with them, almost taunting them. They visited Nina's apartment, hoping to find something that might tie the murders together. What they found was chilling. On her desk was an open laptop, the screen displaying an email titled, "Help me, I'm next." The timestamp was 10:45 p.m., just minutes before her death. James's voice was thick with frustration. She knew she was in danger. Michael's eyes scanned the room, focusing on the small details. The chair was slightly askew, and there was a faint smell of perfume mixed with something else, something metallic. His eyes darted to a small cabinet under the desk. Inside, he found a single, neatly wrapped parcel. Opening it, they discovered a tape recorder with a note attached. "For your ears only." Back at the precinct, Michael and James listened intently as the tape began to play. The voice was distorted, but the message was clear. "I am the voice in the shadows, the one they ignored. Richard and Nina were only the beginning. You won't catch me, because you don't even know what you're looking for." Michael leaned back, his mind racing. This is bigger than Kane. This person, they're targeting people connected to something much deeper. James nodded, his brow furrowed in concentration. "But what?" They combed through the victims' lives, looking for a common thread. And then, it hit them. Both Richard and Nina had been involved in a decade-old case, a corruption scandal that had rocked the city but had been swept under the rug. The people who had silenced the truth were being silenced in return. As dawn approached, Michael and James felt the weight of the killer's game pressing down on them. They were close, but the killer was always a step ahead. Then, James's phone rang. A voice, low and menacing, whispered on the other end. "Tick-tock, detective. Time's running out." The line went dead. Michael's eyes met James's, and for the first time that night, there was something they both felt: fear. Not for themselves, but for whoever might be next. The killer wasn't done yet, and the clock was ticking as they prepared for the next phase of the investigation. Michael couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something. His eyes landed on the map of the city, dotted with the locations of the murder. As they prepared for the next phase of the investigation, Michael couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something. His eyes landed on the map of the city, dotted with the locations of the murders. And then it clicked. The locations weren't random. They formed a pattern. Each murder site, when connected on the map, was pointing towards the city's old courthouse, where the corruption case had been first tried and then dismissed. The killer wasn't hiding in the shadows anymore. They were waiting.
Please subscribe and follow. See you in next video.